What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the game room. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. I mean, to say I've had a little bit of time away from the videos at the moment because I was basically I thought the videos were going out at like a suboptimal quality because basically it was down to my internet connection. Basically, I've now changed my internet connection. I mean, now used to be on a regular broadband connection, and now we've improved it. I knew it was coming anyway. We were waiting for this before I could improve the quality of my videos. So now I'm up to a fiber connection. For those in the UK, I'm on BT. I'm on BT full fiber. Anyway, when you say the internet connection has now improved somewhat, it's not without its faults. I've had some issues with it, but like anyway, now the video I should be able to go from uploading what was from HD. I mean, should be going up to UHD resolution now, so I should be able to. Well, I'm filming this in 4K. Hopefully, you'll be able to watch it in 4K. I mean, you see, I was also having problems with some of my uploads because I feel I was putting it on the wrong setting. I tried to increase my video settings, going up to a thing. Anyway, I feel now this should be going out at 4K anyway. And before we start, I'd just like to say a little bit about the channel. So thank you for all the support. Thank you to all the new people. And you say I do magic and video game content. So my magic content is focused on Commander. They say I'm a Commander player. So coincidentally, I just played what I feel will be my last 60 card tournament. I'm just getting bored of playing 60 card play. I don't feel it has some of the aspects I enjoy of the game. It like the deck building and various stuff. I mean, you say don't let me put you off. If you enjoy playing 60 card, that's fair enough. I mean, say we're going to focus on Commander on this channel. Anyway, thank you for also the support. So basically, we say I would just look at my TV. It's displaying my channel logo. So basically, that's my. So thank you for supporting the channel. So this is my most popular Magic video. It's the Planeswalker video. It's 5-color Super Friends, which is Prismatic Bridge. I mean, so that's my most popular video, full stop, at the moment, out of the 20 plus videos I've done. Anyway, thanks for the support on that. We say maybe we can get a video to 1,000 views. I feel it will be one of the things. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because this month we're going to do a first for the channel. Well, it's going to be the second time for this. We're going to offer a choice of votes for various videos that I can make. I'm going to give you a selection of 3 decks, and for those that don't know about the community tab on the thing, you go to the channel, which is my channel, which you see the logo in the top, and then you say you go to the far right of the channel, and there's something called a community tab, and then you say it doesn't necessarily, depending on what device you have, it doesn't necessarily come up. Because this is on my TV, I've got it on my TV at the moment, and you just say, but if you do it on a PC or like a device, you can get the community tab, and you can go to the community tab, which is on the far right, and you'll be able to vote on the video. I mean, you say for the person that voted on for having this video this month, thanks very much. You say you'll get your way. I don't feel enough people voted though, because they're like, I don't think they were aware quite how it works. Anyway, next month we're offering another choice. We're offering a choice of 3. I think 3 is going to be the number. So I will do the one that gets the highest amount of votes. So I'm basically going to offer you a choice of 3. I'm pretty sure I know which one is going to be the most popular. We'll start with the one that I think will win. There's going to be a 5-color Slivers deck. So say there's a new set of Slivers are going to be coming out. There's going to be a precon later in the year. I would like people to offer people some advice and help. Basically, I've been playing Slivers for quite a while, and when you say that will be one of the options, it will be a 5-color Sliver deck. We'll update it when the new set comes out, but that will be a future, maybe in the future. Anyway, I'll link where I can. I'll link my decks as I normally do on Moxfield, and say I recommend Moxfield for those people. It's a program that enables you to log in your decks and to keep track of whatever. It will give you the deck in terms of color, converting mana cost, etc, etc. Anyway, Moxfield is free to use. It's not a paid service at all. Anyway, you say, so one of the options will be Slivers. The other option I will do is my green-white Cisse deck, which is a green-white Legends deck. Every creature in it is a legend, and most of the other things are as well. And we said that's another option, and I'll offer you another one, which is going to be we're going to make a nice mix of colours. So we're going to have a Rakdos deck. It's going to be a red-black. It's going to be the Baron von Count from the onset. So I would say that's going to be a slightly more unusual deck, and it's not going to have the fundamental of magic. Anyway, I mean, you say that's going to be the choice of 3. Don't forget to vote. Anyway, now back to the presentation. So today's featured presentation, I'll just let me adjust myself. And you need to say, I just come from playing my 60 card, my F&M. So I felt like I'm going to fancy small. We finished at 9 o'clock. It was really early. Anyway, I'm going to say today's featured thing is going to be Okaun and Zndrsplt. So they're like the coin flip commanders. So this is the bigger of the two. So this is what we say he's the heavy hitter. What this one is the thing. So he's 4 and a red. For those that don't know how partner work, partner in Commander is a mechanic that came from various things. It started in this set. This is Battle Bond. Battle Bond was quite fun to draft. I enjoyed it. I mean, you say I bought this on the day, and then you say later I opened another one, and you say most of the time I played Battle Bond. Funny, I had these two as either I was playing these or someone on my team was. Anyway, Battle Bond was fun. I wouldn't mind having another one. Anyway, you say that there were quite a lot of cards from that deck. Cards from that set. Anyway, it gave us these two, which are the godsend for the thing. Because before this set came out, you were basically playing something. The commander was going to be something like Joy. You would have to play a blue-red creature that didn't have a great synergy with the deck, and these are basically like a Voltron commander now. So they basically have things that will draw cards and win you a game. I mean, you say this deck is on my power level. Sorry for that. That was a bit of leg that you got in the shot. Anyway, he says, this on my power spectrum, but bear in mind, people in my group think I rate the decks like more harshly than some. I would rate this deck at a 6 out of 10. And let me see, my average deck is a 7. Anyway, bear in mind, you can probably improve this deck by taking away some of the gimmicky or more gimmicky coin flip cards. I've built it as a coin flip tribal. If you want to build it as more as a Voltron deck, you can take out some of the more cards that you don't think are very good, which are there plenty of in this list anyway, and play some more Voltron cards. So you want to play probably like a set of swords, for instance, and that give protection to this guy. Anyway, he's a 4 and a red for a 3/3. The thing is though, he has effect which is at the beginning of combat on your turn, flip a coin until you lose a flip. And it's whenever a player flips a coin. So there's certain situations where some other people are flipping coins, or someone stole his partner off me anyway. So that is thing. You double Okaun's power and toughness until end of the turn, and then you So basically, the first time it goes from a 3/3, goes up to a 6/6, then goes to a 12/12, and then it goes to a 24/24. And that is lethal. Was you win with commander damage, you 21 someone. There's other ways where you can make this infinitely large, and then you can do a thing. Anyway, that's the first commander. That's Okaun, the Eye of Chaos, and he's partnered with. Sorry for the glare on the camera. There's quite a lot of foils in these, as I say. As always, I'll try and make it so you can see them. Zndrsplt, Eye of Wisdom. Zndrsplt is a 4 and a blue for a 1/4. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, flip a coin until you lose a flip. Whenever a player wins a flip, draw a card. So this will also make me mind, or it will make Okaun large. So basically, when you have both of them in play, you'll be flipping multiple things. You'll be drawing a card for each time you win the flip, and you'll also be doubling Okaun's power for every time you do a flip. There are also things you can do with other stuff that means you can draw infinite cards or make Okaun infinitely large. Anyway, so we'll go to the next section of the deck. The next section of the deck is creatures. I mean, you say there's quite a lot of creatures in this deck. I tried to focus on the ones that will do stuff. Most of them draw cards or flip coins in some way. Anyway, we're going to go with the start with the this one. This is Creepy Doll. This is 5 mana for a 1/1 artifact construct creature. It's indestructible. It's whenever it is dealt combat damage, flip a coin. If you win the flip, destroy the creature. It's an okay card. It's played in kind of like deflecting palm kind of style of decks, or as a defensive entity. It's quite good. As you say, if the creature that's attacking you doesn't have any form of evasion, it's a good blocker, and it's ways to get around various effects. That was the only artifact creature in the deck. So now we'll show you one of the most important cards. So this is Frenetic of Freak. This is 1 blue and a red for a 2/1 flyer. He is on the reserve list, and he wasn't reprinted in the secret lair. Anyway, I mean, said this deck has probably increased in popularity due to the heads you win secret lair, which Wizards, well, they took them a while to send them out, but eventually they got around to sending them out. I didn't go for one personally. I know people that went for this, and I'm sure the person that voted for this video, I'm pretty sure I know who you are, bought one of those. And this is one of the cards they don't haven't included in that secret layer. This is Frenetic of Freet. It's on the reserve list. It's one. It's reasonably hard to find in good condition anyway. So it's one of blue and a red for 2/1 fire. It has an ability. So I'll zoom in on the ability. Yep, it's from a Mirage. I think this was played in Constructed at the time as well as one of the cards, but it's quite hard to kill. Anyway, flying, it has 0 mana, flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in your favour, Frenetic of Freet phases out. Otherwise, bury Frenetic of Freet. And we also say that you basically can respond to it by flipping the coin by doing it again. So you can basically respond, and you can do it as many times as you want. So you end up with, like, technically what's infinite amount of coin flips. You can do it as many times as you want. You respond with the second ability with there. So basically, when Okaun is in play, you can make Okaun infinitely large, or when you have Zndrsplt in play, you can draw your infinite amount of cards with this in play. You might end up losing your Freet at the end, but it doesn't actually matter because once you've drawn your deck, you should win. Anyway, you say whatever people think. It's like house rules kind of thing. Whether you should flip the coins or roll the dice. And you say that they also, in Magic, they also have things that trigger when dice are rolled as well. In kind of things in like the D&D set. Anyway, I might do a dice rolling deck at some point as well. This is Frenetic of Freet. It's one of the best creatures in the deck. Then we have the other one. So that's the Frenetic Sliver. So you say this, there's only one sliver in the deck. It's only this. This is very similar to the Frenetic of Freet. It's one of blue and a red for a 2/2. It has basically all slivers have 0 mana. If it's even play, flip a coin. If you win the flip, remove the creature from the game and return to the end under your control's end. So if you lose the flip, sacrifice it. But it doesn't matter. But you basically will lose it if you were like 50-50 on the first one, unless you've got Crocs Farm in play. Anyways, say you can use this to basically go infinite as well. Then we've got Joy of the Gitu. This used to be the general. This used to be quite popular. As I say, I think Joy has gone down in frequency play now. It's one of blue and a red for a 2/2. It's a legendary creature. It's human wizard. It's two colours to exile a non-land card from your hand. Put 4 time counters on it. And if it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend, which basically means it's a way to get your spells into play, but they have a delayed kind of effect. The Joyra is more seen in various other decks, which basically suspend things like obliterate effects and like a giant Eldrazi and various things in play. And then you say it's not in this deck. It's fairly fair. And then we have various things that draw cards. So this is one of them. This being Jorah and Ruin Diver. It's one of blue and a red. For a 2/3, it's a legendary Merfolk wizard. It's a blue-red Merfolk. I mean, you say most Merfolk aren't red. Anyway, that's one of them. I guess it's because it's an Izzet card. I mean, is it generally associated with the spell or one of the spell slingers kind of thing? So it's more an Izzet card rather than an Azorius card, for instance. And when you say whether you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card, you're going to play lots of spells. So it basically reads you play another spell, draw a card kind of thing. And then we go on to some of the other ones. So we got Usury. So this was another card from the thing. This was in Modern Horizons 2. There were a couple of cards in Modern Horizons that flip coins. This is one. So he's one of blue and a red for a 2/3. It's an Efreet. So most of the Efreets generally flip coins. It's not as good as Frenetic Efreet, but this one can draw lots of cards. It's a flyer. So it's whenever he attacks, choose a number between 1 and 5. Flip that many coins. For each flip you win, draw a card. For each flip you lose, Usury deals 2 damage to you. Sorry about that. If you win 5 flips this way, you may cast spells from your hand this turn without paying the mana cost. So that's basically Omniscience. Right, that's that one. That's Frenetic Free. I don't think I flipped 5 coins with it yet. Anyway, these are more just Joyras. So Joyra is one of the things. So Joyra basically, this is the 2 blue and a red for a 3/3. And it's when you cast a historic spell, draw a card. Artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. So that will draw you some cards in this deck. And there's quite a few of those variety. Right. Then we've got Melik Izzet Paragon, which is the thing. There's a lot of Izzet multicoloured things in this spell. So this one is a 4 of blue and a red for a 2/4 body. He is play with the top card of your library revealed, so it's a bit like a future sight or a future sight kind of effect. It's you may cast the top card of your library if it's an instant or sorcery. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery from your library, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. So it's basically a way to copy your spells. And we say one of the best things in this deck is 4 of blue and a red. It's the Locust God for those things. It's a 4/4 flyer for 4 of blue and a red. It's whenever you draw a card, create a 1/1 blue and red insect creature with flying. 2 a blue and a red, draw a card, discard a card, and it's when it's got the god return clause, so it's when the locust god dies, returns to hand at the beginning of the next end step. So that's where, and you can use the locust god when you have thing to play to make an abundant number of insects and kill people with that. You don't even have to go infinite with it. It's just one of the best gods, and it's one of the things where you can get a 1-turn kill with it fairly easier. I've got the obligatory Thassa's Oracle. Maybe the easiest way to win games in Commander, but is whether this is the thing or not. It means to say that I've won with the Foracle. I use this is a foil one. I quite like the card, but it's like it probably shouldn't have all the text on it. Whether it should be a when ETB trigger and various things, it's probably not. But there we go. That's Thassa's Oracle. You say where you can draw your deck. It doesn't really matter. I mean, so let's go on with the cards. So these are the ones that flip coins. These are, so I think I've done them by colour order and CMC. So this is Orcish Captain. So this is a blast from the past. This is a card from Fallen Empires. So it's a 1/1 for just single red. It's an orc. There are not many orcs in Magic. There seem to be lots of goblins for some reason, and even the D&D sets I don't think have very many. Anyway, it's 1, choose a target orc, flip a coin. Each opponent calls heads or tails. Well, coin is in there. If the flip ends in your favour, the orc gets +2/+2. If not, -0/-2. So it's not a great card. It can probably be cut if you want to play something better. And say one of the more things. So this was from the Commanders thing. So this is one of the coin flip cards that came from there, along with some of the other ones. So this is Krark the Thumbless. So probably so in the story it's the one that created Krark's Thumb. So it's whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, return that spell to owner's hand. So basically it means it will delay your spell by like a thing. You have to pay the mana again. And if you win the flip, you copy it. So you get 2 copies. So this is a interesting card. I haven't really got around to playing it very much. I don't think I've drawn this at any point where it's been relevant. I've played the deck a couple of times recently. I feel my wins were I made enough locusts to kill people, and the other one where it did nothing. Anyway, I say this is Goblin Kaboomist. So I say these quite a lot of goblins flip coins. This is Goblin Kaboomist. It's 1 and a red for a 1/2. It was in the core set of the year, so that was M15. It's the beginning of upkeep, make a colourless artifact token named Landmine. I think I haven't got around to getting the tokens for this deck. I shouldn't need a Landmine. I know I've got one somewhere. Anyway, this artifact enters with... sacrifice the artifact. Artifacts deal 2 damage, target attacking creature without flying. Then it's got the flip the coin. Flip a coin, if you lose the flip, it deals 2 damage to itself, so it may self-destruct. Right. Carrying on with the goblins, we've got Goblin Archaeologist. This is 1 and a red for a 1/2. It has red, tap, flip a coin. If you win the flip, destroy it. Target artifact and untap Goblin Archaeologist. So if you're in a board with a load of artifacts, this is some of the artifact destruction. You can play the like Overload Vandal Blast or something, but that's the more flavorful one. And we got one of the best cards to come out from this first set, which was MH2, sorry, not MM2. Anyway, this is Tavern Scoundrel. This is a foil one. This is 1 and a red for a 1/3. It's whenever you win a coin flip, create 2 treasure tokens. And then it's got red, sacrifice another permanent, flip a coin. So you can go, this can make nearly infinite treasure tokens at the point. Anyway, that's that one. We've got Mog Assassin. So this is boss from the thing. This is from Exodus, I believe is the one with the bridge. 2 red for a 2/1. It says tap, flip a coin. If you win the flip, destroy target creature an opponent controls. Otherwise, destroy target creature of the opponent's choice. We got one of the only proxies. So there's this Meiji Jin. It's triple red for a 6/3 flyer. If you choose to attack with Meiji Jin, flip a coin immediately after attack is... the wording on it's awful. It's basically... it's been errated. I don't know what the errata is on it. Opponent chooses heads or tails while coin is in there. If the flip ends up in your opponent's favour, it is tapped and doesn't attack. So it's not going to do any combat damage effectively, but it still becomes tapped. Anyway, that card's hard to find. I can't seem to find one at a reasonable price or something. And we say, let me know. And we see Goblin Trespasser, so this is 3 and a red There's also FemMM2, which is which lots of coin flipping was one of the themes in the set. I've no idea why they chose the coin flipping cards, but then again, they haven't been printed any for a while. And it's whenever Goblin Trap Run attacks, flip 3 coins. For each flip you win, create a 1/1 red Goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking. I think Goblin is or free might be the most played in deck. Speaking of free, the next one is a free. It's a 3 and a red. This is from Prophecy, I believe. As I say, just before I started playing. And means this a 5/2. It's whenever a fickle or a free attacks or is blocked, flip a coin at the end of combat. If you lose the flip, an opponent gains control of it. Then we've got Goblin and Psychopath. This is 3 and a red for a 5/5. From it's sort of like a Scourge, I believe. So that was from the all creatures set. And it said whenever it attacks or blocks, flip a coin. If you would lose the flip, the next time it would deal combat damage to turn, it deals the damage to you instead. We've got Molten Sentry for 3 red. This either enters as... When this enters, you flip a coin. If the coin comes up heads, it enters as a 5/2 with haste. If it comes up tails, it enters as a 2/5. So then we've got Chaotic Goo. So this is from Tempest. So it's 2 and a red for it's basically enters with 3 counters, and it's during the upkeep you may flip a coin. This one's optional, some of them are must, it depends. If you win the flip, add a +1/+1 counter to Chaotic Goo, otherwise remove a counter. Getting there, we're just going through the creatures. Anyways, I aim for around 40 minutes on these Commander videos. Anyway, Goblin Bang Chucker, this is 2 red for 2/2. This isn't very good value. It's not a great card. Anyway, I like the artwork with the goblin and the bombs. I mean, you can appreciate green skins for sure. Anyway, so this is a tap flip a coin. If you win the flip, Goblin Bang Chuckers deal 2 damage to target creature or player. If you lose the flip, it deals 2 damage to itself, so it self-destructs. And then we got Corpuscular Minotaur. So this is a blast from the past. This is from Cold Snap. Cold Snap was one of the worst drafts formats for Magic anyway. I feel it was one of the worst. They made me draft it at Nationals one year, and so I did 2 drafts of Cold Snap as opposed to some of the better sets. Anyway, Cold Snap was not a great set for Magic anyway. So this is 2 red for a 3/3. This has cumulative upkeep, flip a coin. So basically it becomes cumulative upkeep is it keeps on getting bigger, so exponentially, so it doubles, basically goes up each time. So it becomes first time flip a coin, then flip 2 coins, and vice versa, and it keeps increasing. It's whenever you win a coin flip, deal 1 damage to target creature or player. Whenever you lose a flip, deal 1 damage to target creature or player of an opponent's choice. Right, there's that one. Then we're going 2-headed giant. So this is 2 red for a 4/4. Obviously, also 2-headed giant's one of my. I enjoy some of the other different formats in Magic. So 2-headed giant is one of the ones I enjoy. I mean, you say I miss playing it. I mean, you say we do it sometimes, but say they used to do it at the pre-releases, but they don't seem to happen at the pre-releases anymore. I mean, you say this is 2-headed giant anyway. So is when 2-headed giant attacks. Flip 2 coins. If both come up heads, 2-headed giant gains double strike until the end of turn. If both come up tails, it gains menace. So it gets an evasion or something. It's quite big, and it's one of the bigger creatures. Anyway, so we keep on with the goblin. So we've got Goblin Assassin, 3 red for a 2/2. It's when it or another goblin comes into play, each player flips a coin. Each player whose coin comes up tails sacks a creature. This also has synergies because there's other goblins in the deck. It was played back in the day in like the various kind of goblin decks as a kind of mirror match kind of card or various other stuff. And it also so if the opposing players are flipping coins as well, so your things trigger on their flips as well. Alright, that's Goblin Assassin. Then we've got Squirrel Worm. It's a thing from it's a 5 mana 7/7. Beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, it bounces. Okay, so you got a cheap 7/7. Then we've got Charmbreaker Devils. This doesn't flip coins, but it's recursion basically. It's a 5 and a red for a 4/4 devil. At the beginning of your upkeep, return an instant or sorcery at random from the graveyard to hand. Well, there's quite a lot of them. You can be careful and you can play around. And it's when you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets +4/+0 until end of the turn. Then we've got more randomness. This deck used to be a bit more random than this. I took out there's some of the chaos element of it and made it a bit more, well, I would say a bit more fun for other people to play against. Anyway, I took out some of the various chaotic effects. Anyway, this is Capricious of 3 for 4 and a red for a 6/4. It's at the beginning of your upkeep. Choose target non-land permanent you control and up to 2 target non-land permanents your opponent things you don't control. Destroy one of them at random. They say that's a good way to get rid of various things that the deck struggles with. Then we've got Crazed Firecat, the mighty 5 and a red for a 4/4. When it comes to play, flip a coin until you lose a flip. Put +1/+1 counters on it for each flip you win. Then we've got another Tyrant. So this is Tyrant of Discord. Also to be confused with the app Discord, which I'm definitely on. 4 a red and a red and a red, so that's triple red. It was quite colour intensive for a 7/7. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent chooses a permanent he or she controls at random and sacrifices it. If an online permanent is sacrificed this way, repeat the process. Anyway, those are all the creatures in the deck. What am I going to do next is probably go through the spells. Anyway, the spells basically are I'll start with the instant. So basically, when you're playing red, you're basically looking at various ways to draw cards. You can play actual card drawing spells, but these are basically things that flip coins and draw cards. So this is you play certain cards like this, which is an obscure card called Alatry. It's from Mirage. If you're playing like a mono red deck, you would try and use this as it's got cantrip built in kind of thing. It's not great, but like it fits the theme of this deck, which is part of the thing. It's trying to find fun. Cards like this or various things. Anyway, I build like all my commander decks. I build for myself. I rarely look at lists. I maybe get a look at a couple, but not very often. I mean, I built this deck from scratch pretty much. I mean, when this deck. It's one of the things you're looking at in Magic is playing things that are different. This deck, it doesn't certainly feel like anything else in Magic, and that sometimes it feels like you're playing a completely different game. Anyway, this is Alatry from Mirage. It's 1 and a red for an instant. It's play only after its blockers are chosen now, and it's flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while it's in there. If the flip ends up in your favour, target creature gets +1/+1. It's mainly for the cantrip effect. Is draw a card at the beginning of next turn's upkeep. So that was basically a cantrip effect. So basically you draw a card at the beginning of next player's upkeep. Anyway, there's also various other style of effects like this. So we've got Chaotic Strike for 1 and a red. It's basically the same thing. Choose target creature, flip a coin. If you win the flip, that creature gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Oh, that's draw a card. That's draw a card immediately. But that card came out a lot later. And then we've got stuff like Desperate Gambit. That's from Weatherlight. So this is red. So for it's flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while coin is in the play. If the flip ends in your favour, double the damage dealt by a sorcerer you control. Otherwise, prevent all the damage. So that could be useful. And we've got Gamble. So that's the original one. And so that's basically all the red entomb, as we call it in most of my play groups. They say that's a way to tutor for cards, so you basically can tutor for your combo pieces. You can play other tutors if you want, but like they say the red one. And this is some of the weird cards. So we've got Mana Clash. So this is from the Dark, I believe, the moon. Yeah, so this is one of the quickest ways you used to be able to win the game of Magic, other than like stupid stuff like Channel Fireball. So this could end the game immediately on the first turn with 1 mana. Off even a basic land would do it. It's basically you and target player each flip a coin. Each Mana Clash deals 1 damage to any player whose coins come up tails. Repeat this process until both players' coins come up heads at the same time. And you could get a draw out of this card as well, which is one of the weird things. Anyway, you're not winning. You're not effectively winning flips though, so it won't trigger certain cards in the deck. But I've still got it in there. And we got Molten Birth for 1 red and a red for create 2/1/1 red elemental creatures. Then flip a coin. If you win the flip, return to hand. Then we've got one of the better cards in the deck. I use this. The only thing I can't remember. I think I got I needed to use this to kill something because someone was stopping me going off because they had a Notion Thief on the board, and I drew this and I flipped some coins and I basically bolted the thief and then went off. So this is Fiery Gambit for 2 and a red. It's a sorcery. Flip a coin until you lose a flip or choose to stop flipping. If you lose a flip, Fiery Gambit has no effect. If you win 1 or more flips, it does 3 damage to target creature. If you win 2 or more flips, Fiery Gambit deals 6 damage to each opponent. If you win 3 or more flips, draw 9 cards and untap all your land. So you should win if that goes off. I don't think I've done that method. And we've got Game of Chaos. This is a triple red card. I can't even remember what this one does. It's from Ice Age. So it's flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while coin in the air. If the flip ends in your favour, you gain 1 life and opponents lose 1 life. Otherwise, you lose 1 life and the opponent gains 1 life. blah, blah, blah. The winner of each round decides whether or not to continue. Double the stakes. That's another one you might play. Okay, so now we go on to some. We've got win conditions of sorts. So this is Chandra's ignition of 3 red. So this is target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. So you can go infinite if you make Okaun infinitely large and you draw basically your entire library and you can cast this. You can also play fling effects to do a similar thing, but this will kill everyone, whereas opposed to fling will only kill one person. So I played this one. It does cost more mana, but it doesn't really matter at that point because if you draw your library, you're probably fine. And we got Goblin Bomb. This is sort of an obscure one. This is from Weatherlight, so this is a 1 and a red for a new. Oh, we're onto the enchantment section. I feel I've gone off the instants and sorceries. Anyway, don't worry. We're onto the enchantment. So this is during your upkeep. You may choose to flip a coin. Target opponent heads or tails, blah, blah, blah. If flip ends up in your favour, put a fuse counter on this. Otherwise, remove a fuse counter from Goblin Bomb. And it's remove 5 counters from Goblin Bomb, sacrifice Goblin Bomb. Goblin Bomb deals 20 damage to target player. I don't think I've yet to kill someone with it, but it's and it's a cool card. And then we've got Planar Chaos. So this is, I mean, there's lots of things like enchantments and stuff that are like the same as name is set. So Planar Chaos is a magic set as well. And there's also stuff like Time Spiral and that, which are also magic sets. And they're also named planes on the thing. Anyway, so Planar Chaos is this one is a 2 red for enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, sack Planar Chaos, and it's whenever a player plays a spell, that player flips a coin. If he or she loses the flip, counter that spell. Not a fun plane to be on. We got a win condition, so we've got chance encounter. This is the version from MH2. There's also the original one if you have the artwork one. So it's got the symbol. I like any of the ones with the symbol. So that's the Mirari on it from Odyssey, which was the original set it was from. Anyway, this is a foil one. I like trying to foil my decks. I'm a magpie amongst other things as well. So this is 2 red for an enchantment. It's whenever you win a coin flip, put a luck counter on chance encounter. At the beginning of your upkeep, if chance encounter has 10 or more luck counters on it, you win the game. It's worth bearing in mind not all the effects in the deck actually counters you winning and flip though, so it won't trigger on everything, but it triggers on a lot of things. Anyway, then we've got impulsive maneuvers for 2 red. It's for an enchantment. This is a foil one. This is from Odyssey as well. Odyssey also had a lot of cards that had like triggered on coin flipping as well. It's whenever a creature attacks, flip a coin. Oh yeah, this is a global one as well. Flip a coin. If you win in the flip, the next time the creature would deal combat damage this turn, it deals double damage instead. If you lose the flip, the next time the creature would deal combat damage this turn, prevent the damage. And when you said the old school foils with like the shooting star kind of thing, I quite like. Then we've got confusion in the ranks. So this is a more unusual one. This is 3 red for an enchantment. So back in the days, this was played in, like I say, a mono red goblin deck. I mean, so they used to be able to play things like Circle of Protection red. This was a good way to get around the Circle of Protection red by playing this and playing this as the only enchantment, and then stealing their cop red, for instance. And this reads: whenever an artifact, creature, or an enchantment comes into play, its controller chooses target permanent another player controls that shares a type with it, exchange control of the permanents. You could also play Zndrsplt, for instance. Then we've got Mirrored March. So this is a 5 and a red. This is quite expensive to cast, but the impact it has on the game can often be quite kind of backbreaking. It's when a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, flip a coin until you lose a flip. For each flip you will create a token that's a copy of the creature. Those tokens gain haste, exile them. So that can get you lots of triggers. Then we've got Tide of War from, that's original Kamigawa. I believe it's a cock. Is that a cock? Yeah, cock. Champions of Kamigawa. All right. As opposed to new Kamigawa. But this is Tide of War. 4 red for an enchantment. It's when one more creatures block, flip a coin. If you win the flip, the defending player sacrifices all blocking creatures. Otherwise, the attacking player sacrifices the block creatures. All right, there's that one. Are we nearly done on the enchantments? Risky move, 3 red for an enchantment. It's the beginning of each player's upkeep. That player gains control of risky move. Whenever you gain control of risky move from another player, choose a creature you control an opponent, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, that opponent gains control of the creature. Then we've got one of the best cards in the deck. So this is a Time Walk effect. So this is Stitch and Time. This is a 1 of blue and a red for a sorcery. It's flip a coin. If you win the flip, take an extra turn after this one. But we have ways to generate multiple coin flips in the deck. I'll get on to the most important one in a minute. It's Croc's Farm for those that want the thing. And this is Squeeze Revenge for 1 of blue and a red. It's choose a number, flip a coin that many times until you lose a flip. Whenever comes first, if you win all the flips, draw 2 cards for each flip. Right. That's all the spells. When you say we've got 1 Planeswalker in the deck, it's the one that flips coins. Obviously, it's Ral Zarek. There's 2 of blue and a red for a 4 loyalty Planeswalker. Its +1 is tap target permanent, then untap another target permanent. Its -2 is deal 3 damage to target creature or player. Useful if people have stuff like Notion Thief and various stuff like that. Its ultimate is the one where it's been played in this deck. It's flip 5 coins, taking an extra turn after the sorry, I got that bit. Take an extra turn after this one for each coin that comes up heads. So basically, I used that in effect the great time. The first time I played this deck, I think it was one of the best draws I had. I had it against my friend. I played it off a Mana Crypt on very early in the game, and then they say I got to the bit ultimate, and I think I had chance encounter in play. So I think I won that game fairly easily. Anyway, we'll go to the artifacts. So we'll do the stuff that aren't. We'll do the Mana Rocks first. It's very straightforward. It's the ubiquitous ones. We've got Soul Ring. The obvious, don't even need to read it. And we have Mana Crypt. We use whichever one you want. This one is a proxy. I have 2 real ones. I did open the one near the time as well. And as I say, Mana Crypt has the flip a coin line on it as well. Not only is it a good card, it's perfect for this deck. It flips coins. If you don't have a Mana Crypt, I'd recommend getting something else because it's on the expensive side. Anyway, we say we'll do the artifacts. So if you want to play more in this equipment line, I would play more if you can. It's like the things I'm gone for more coin flip tribal. If you want to play more like a Voltron deck, I'd recommend taking out the cards you're less happy with or the less optimal ones and playing some other swords. Anyway, we've got ways to protect Okaun. So it's Okaun mainly. It's not always. So we've got Swiftfoot Boots. In one way, just give your guy hexproof and haste, fairly obvious. We've got Lightning Greaves, pick your thing. They've been things, so this gives it a haste and shroud for a 0 mana quick cost. And we've got in this deck, Whisper Silk Cloak is very good. It's basically a way to make your guy unblockable. So it's a free equipment, casting cost equipment. It gives creature unblockable and can't be targeted with spells abilities. So shroud, it's got effect. It has a quick cost of 2. It's very good on Okaun, particularly. And we've got other equipment. Not other artifacts. So we're nearly there now. We'll be at the normal thing. So this is the most important thing in the deck. This is Croc's Farm. So this is a 2-mana artifact. This is from original Mirrodin. It's a legendary artifact as well. So if you would flip a coin, instead flip 2 coins and ignore 1. So you keep your best roll. And you basically would get lots of triggers off this. You don't even have to go infinite with various things. You just get so much value off it. It's the best card. And if you're tutoring for something with a gamble, it's normally a Croc's Farm. Anyway, or the Frenetic are free if you have other pieces. So this is Chaos Wand. I left this component in the deck. So this is a artifact. It's a 3-mana artifact. It's 4 mana, tap, target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until the exile an instant or sorcery. You may cast the card without paying its mana cost, then put the extra cards that weren't cast on the bottom of the library in various order. It's a way to give you access to cards that you wouldn't normally have access to. I mean, you know the people you play with, you know basically what, if you want something, whose library you should go through. Then we've got stuff like, this is like Wirefly Hive. So this is from the its original Mirrodin block. I think that's either Darksteel or that on it. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a 3-mana artifact which also has 3 mana flip a coin. If you win the flip, put a 2/2 Wirefly creature with flying into play. If you lose the flip, destroy Wireflies. Not a great card. Then we have Goblin Lyre, the 3-mana artifact. It's also from original Ice Age. It has a lot of text on it. I'm going to zoom in. So it's sacrifice Goblin Lyre, flip a coin, target opponent, blah, blah, blah. If flip ends up in your favour, Goblin Lyre deals X damage, where X is equal to the number of creatures you control. Otherwise, X deals X damage to you, where X is the number of creatures the opponent controls. If they don't control creatures, it doesn't really matter. Then we've got Bottle of Senuin. So it basically is a way to make it a free, effectively. So it's a 4 mana, 1 and sacrifice, flip a coin, call heads or tails. If the flip ends up in opponent's favour, it deals 5 damage to you. Otherwise, put a Jin into play. It's a 5/5 artifact creature with flying. Then we've got another way to draw cards. So we've got Sorcerer's Strongbox. It's a 4 mana. It was from the core set of the M11. So it's 2 mana, tap and sacrifice of... Oh no, so it's not tap and sacrifice, it's 2 mana and tap. Flip a coin. If you win the flip, sack it and draw 3 cards. So at least this one is, if you fail, you get to keep it. And this was one of the best cards. So this came out of nowhere. This came out in a commander precon of the year, which is C16. It was Boom Pile. So this is a great card for this deck. It's a 4 mana thing. It says tap, flip a coin. If you win the flip, destroy non-land permanents. It's a great reset button. It's not ridiculous. But like it came out in a commander precon. I like the things that they do in the precon sometimes, and generally the precons are quite good value at the moment, at least. Anyway, we're on to our last section, so we're going to go with the land. So I'm going to start with the special land. This is the colourless land. We've got Rogue's Passage. We've got the foil printing of that. It's taps for colourless and 4 mana token, which can't be blocked. Normally Okaun. Anyway, we'll do the dual lands. We've got the we've got the blue-red Is It duals. I've got so I'll just go through them. There's a Wandering Fumarole. Don't really need to know that. It can animate into a mound land. I would say these aren't necessarily the optimal ones. I'm just playing what I've got. I need to say I'll prove it. I've got a Saltwater Cliffs, the game 1 life land in it. In this list, anyway, we've got Is It Guildgate, another blue-red dual. We've got Scalding Tarn, that one's a proxy. I've got more, I probably should move them into this deck. Then we've got Cascade Bluffs, that is a masterpiece one, so I've got one of those. That's one of the nicer lands. We've got Sulphur Falls. I mean, say that I think the land that should be in it, if you don't have a volcanic island thing, you should. And then you say the blue-red recent one, the one with the come into play untap clause. If you have 2 or more opponents, should be the one that would be in there. But I haven't updated this in a while. Temple of Epiphany, Skyland, Spy Bluff Canal, Steam Vents, Shivan Reef, Command Tower. Those are all the jewels. Now we've got, basically, I'll do the islands. So I've got Bowl Island. So that's my favourite island, or one of them anyway. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not many red sources. So then we've got mountains. So I've got this mountain. So I've got 1, 2. There'll be some others in a minute. 4. I try and match my basics. And where it's possible, I do it foil. Just counting them, there's 16 of those mountains. Then I've got some other mountains because I didn't have enough, so I've got another 2 mountains, so that's 18. And then we've got to finish with, we've got this altered mountain, so that's 19 mountains total. And we need to say that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, thanks very much. I will say I'm keeping on doing these. I aim to do 1 a month. I hope the video quality is improved. Anyway, like, comment and subscribe. And you just say the best thing you can do for me is a subscription, people. Anyway, thanks very much for watching these. I'll keep doing these. And you say don't forget to go to the community tab and vote for the next video you want to see. And really say hopefully I'll see you again next month. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you. Bye.